Hey guys, it's Rachel here, and today I'm going to be filming a book haul video. Now I know that I said in my 2014 resolutions that book buying was going to be one of the things that I tried really hard not to do. But some of these books I had before I filmed that video, and some of these books my dad was nice enough to go ahead and get for me, and so, I mean, who really turns down free books? So today that's what I'm going to be filming. I'm going to be filming quite a few videos today since it's my day off, so you'll just have to excuse this. I'm also trying to film in a kind of a different location of sorts. I realized that sitting on the guest bed, it's not working out for my legs, so I'm sitting in my computer chair. So hopefully this will work out. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to the haul. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with one of the books that I was ridiculously excited for. I saw it in a video of Chapter Chicks and I had forgotten about it, and then I remembered it, and so I went ahead and ordered it, and that book is going to be Project Cain by Jeffrey Girard. Now, the premise of this book is really interesting. It's pretty much about a kid named Jeffrey, and one day he's kind of just told that he is a clone, and by clone, he has been cloned from the DNA of serial killers. So basically, this book is about a bunch of kids that have been given the DNA of different serial killers, the most notorious serial killers, and kind of seeing and putting them in different homes and kind of seeing really if nature versus nurture, how that works out. If you're inherently already programmed to be the kind of person that you are. I have already started reading this. I'm a little over 100 pages in. I am sad to say that I'm not enjoying it, and I'm having difficulties reading it. The premise of the story is so good, but the actual writing itself is just filled with nothing but facts, and I'm just really not enjoying it. I want to know more about the character Jeffrey and his mind, and if he's having urges, and maybe as the further you go on in the book, maybe it becomes that way, but I'm just really not enjoying this so far, and I'm having difficulties getting through it, and I may just put this down because I don't want to put myself in kind of a reading slump. The next book that I have is The House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. Now, I saw this on someone's channel. As usual, I saw this on Reagan's channel, and I really liked her review of it, and so I went ahead and ordered it. Now, I got the copy, the edition that I like. I ordered it from Amazon. I was expecting the other edition, but they sent me this one, and honestly, I actually really like this edition a lot more. I haven't actually seen any of the other versions that look like this, so I don't really know why they went ahead and went with this cover, but you know, as you can see, it's the stinger from a scorpion. But so I really like this. This is, oddly enough, also about clones. It's about a kid named Matt, and he's been cloned from one of the most notorious drug lords, El Patron, and I'm really interested in this. I like the idea of this, and so I'm pretty excited to get to it. To go along with The House of Scorpion, I also bought The Lord of Opium, which is the sequel to The House of the Scorpion. I got this one from Books A Million. That's where I order a lot of my books. But I got it from Books A Million when they had several books for 50% off, and this one was 50% off. And so I went ahead and got it because I have a feeling that I'm going to really like The House of the Scorpion. And so I went ahead and got it. I do also really like the cover from this. It's quite different from the House of the Scorpion cover, but that's okay. I'm going to deal with it. I don't know. This, obviously, I don't know too much about it other than it's the sequel. I don't want to know much about it because then I'm afraid that I'm going to spoil The House of the Scorpion for myself. But when I get to these books, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a review of them because they look like they'll be really good. The next book is one that's been circulating around BookTube quite a bit, and that's going to be The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I am really excited for this. I've been really into fantasy lately, and I went to the store and I saw this, and it's in the big book that I wanted, and I was really excited. Sometimes I have a problem with the mass market paperbacks. I feel like they're too small, and I don't like breaking the spine in my books. And sometimes when you get a thick book like that, you end up breaking the spine. But, you know, first world problems, right? But yeah, The Name of the Wind, I'm really excited about it. I've been seeing circulating a lot. From my understanding, this is basically a book about an innkeeper. He's an innkeeper for a hotel. One day a person comes in and he asks the innkeeper about his life, and this is kind of chronicling his life. From my understanding, there's going to be 3 books in the series. The first 2 books are out. This is it's told in 3 days. This is day 1, and this is telling about when he's younger. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. It's pretty thick, but I'm really excited to read this, and I really hope I enjoy it. The next book I bought is going to be These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. First off, let's talk about this cover. This cover is fantastic. It's beautiful. But when I saw Brianna from Two Fab Sisters had read it and she really enjoyed it, I got really excited, and she has been telling me nonstop that I needed to go ahead and pick it up and read it. So I bought it, and I'm really excited to get to it. To my understanding, this is a sci-fi book. It's about a guy and a girl. The girl is the daughter of the richest man in the universe, and the guy is, I believe, a soldier, and they're on a ship, and I think that the ship gets stranded on a planet, and they're the only survivors, or so they think, and they kind of have to band together to figure out how they're going to survive. I'm really, really excited to read this, and I really hope that it's as good as everyone's been saying. The next book I have is The Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rose. I have seen this book before, and I even have seen it before I had watched YouTube, and I have seen it at Walmart, and sometimes the books that they have in Walmart aren't typically the best books out there. They're just what they think that you're going to enjoy reading, so I typically don't like to pick up the books, but when I saw this one, I was immediately intrigued, but I didn't buy it. But just recently I've been seeing a pretty big surge of this book on BookTube, and everyone's seeming to really enjoy it, and so I figured that I would go ahead and give it a try. To my understanding, it's told in 4 different perspectives, and so it looks good. I mean, the cover looks pretty awesome. It looks like an assassin. They're holding like daggers. That's awesome. I've really been into assassin type books lately, so I hope that this is as good as everyone's been saying, and I hope to get to it really soon. The next book is a book that I have already read and I already loved, and I read it on my Kindle originally, but when I loved it so much that when I saw it for half price, I just had to go ahead and get it so I could have it on my bookshelves, and that's going to be Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I don't need to really go into this because I know that everyone has already read it and loved it. I really did love it. I read it in just 2-3 days. It was fantastic. It was so cute, so bubbly. I know that there were some times when I was a little bit frustrated with the character Kath, but overall I think that this book was really, really good. If you'd like to see my full thoughts on this book, please let me know and I'll do a review on it. But because there were times where I was a little bit frustrated, but overall I really loved this book and I thought it was so cute, and I think that if you haven't picked it up, that you should definitely do so. The next book I have is Hey Nostradamus by Douglas Coupland. I have only seen one booktuber talk about this book, and I can't even think of what booktuber it is right now, so that shows my diligence in planning for videos. I will find her link and I will post it in the down bar, but to my understanding, this is about a girl named Cheryl. She's pregnant and she's secretly married, and she's in high school. One day, a group of people come in, I believe high school students, and there is a shooting, and she is one of the girls, or one of the people that is actually murdered, and she's kind of chronicling what's happening up to her death. And then the story continues after her death, and how most of the place has gone back to normal, but there are still people that are still reeling from what has happened, namely the boyfriend or the husband in the story. The next book I have is another book that I have already read and I already really enjoyed. I have read everything by this author thus far, and that author is going to be Lauren DeStefano, and so the book is going to be Perfect Ruin. This is another book that I really love the cover. I love the inside. And this book it was interesting to me. I really liked it. There were times where I could become a little bit frustrated, but more or less, I really enjoyed this book. I also have read the Chemical Gardens trilogy by her. I really enjoyed the Chemical Gardens trilogy, and I actually think I'm going to be doing a giveaway of the first book in the series because I have an extra copy of it. But I really enjoyed this book. This is pretty much about a city called Internment that is in the sky, and if you get too close to the edge of Internment, you go crazy. And one day there is a murder on Internment, this seemingly perfect city, and things kind of take off from there. I enjoyed it. You know, that's the most that I could say about it. If you'd like to see a review, let me know. The next two books I got are going to be Pathfinder and Ruins by Orson Scott Card. I've seen both these books circulating quite a bit on the BookTube thus far, and I'm really interested in it. So, to my understanding, this is about a boy named Rig, and Rig can see the paths of people's pasts. And I think that's really interesting. I think that sounds really interesting. This book is pretty large, as well as Ruins. The next book I have is going to be Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher. This is another book that I saw on Reagan Priest Project's channel. She convinced Amanda from Amanda Pants Reads to buy the book when we were at the BookTube meeting, and they only had one copy. I know I already own the entire series on my Kindle, but sometimes it's just nice to own a physical copy, and so I went ahead and did so. I am pretty excited to get to it. Reagan mentioned that the story gets better as it progresses, and the first is definitely the most weak in it, but by no means is the worst in it. She says the entire book is really good. I'm pretty excited about this. It looks really good. Like I said, I'm really into fantasy right now, and I hope that I really enjoy it. And certainly, last but not least, is going to be my beautiful box set of the Legend trilogy. I saw this on Amazon for $21. They had it for sale for $21, and I immediately bought it. I was so excited for it. The books are so pretty. We got Legend, Prodigy, Champion, and then the little novella that's inside of it. You all know what this story is about. Day, Jude. I mean, it just looks so good, and I am so excited that I have all of the books so I can just read them all together. And I love how this looks on my little pedestal of sorts. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed some of the books that I got. If you'd like to see reviews of any of them, please let me know. Also, if you've read any of these books, please let me know. I'd love to hear y'all's input on it, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.